Hey everybody, this is Myles Sergé and welcome to MS Live special edition. As you can see, it's red in the back, so we're doing something different today. Little special edition. Just me tonight, and I'm here with my guest, Joshua Tree. How are you?
Great. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. Just getting out of work. Um, Rush back. I called you earlier at work. Say, hey, I got a great idea. Let's do a little broadcast tonight.
It feels like so many of the great ideas we've had have been spontaneous, kind of like that. So
Yeah,
you
that
never
is
know when it's going to come to you.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, for
Mhm.
the most part, they work out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's worked out, got us this far at least.
Yeah. So let me knock on. I don't have wood, but knock on the desk. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But,
I'm knocking on the wood door you gave me right now,
oh, you got the
invoking the
door.
wood gun.
Yeah, dude.
You can't see it, but because, the computer's on it right now. But
Right.
yep.
That's dope. Better tell you about that later, but that's great, man. That's great. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here. We're doing this. I'm trying something new.
We're doing this shit.
We're doing it. So yeah. The title of today's show, MS Live with me and D-KNOX, who is not here, but he's here in spirit. Number 9, Movement 2025 review with Joshua Tree. I didn't go to Movement this year, nor last year. The year before I went, but it's cool to have close friends who go, and I can live through them for the weekend. So
Well, and you played After Party last year, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I did do that, but I didn't go. I didn't go to the show actually. I mean, I didn't go to the festival. Excuse me, but I did.
Festival itself.
I did do the pre-party. It was a pre-party. Yeah, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was it?
Well, it was great, So my history is I've been going since the like 2001 or 2, whichever was the second year that they did it back when it was Demph, and it was free and all that. And I went in every year from then until I'm not sure when, probably 2005 or 6,
Mhm.
and then maybe 7. I'd have to look back on everything, but and then I took several years off and didn't go and went back, started again in 2013. I've gone every year since then,
Okay.
and I always get a 3-day pass. So for me, I take it more seriously than your average, attendee. I buy a 3-day pass. I go to after parties. Most people just kind of pick one or the other, or just go 1 day or 2 days and go hard. Last year, I marathoned it and did like a whole week, effectively. And so it's Mecca for me. It's where I ritualistically go once a year to like worship the techno gods and dance until my feet hurt. And
Mhm.
you know, by the end of it, loud music it all just kind of becomes like a hum that you can't make sense of it anymore. Like you go to a point where you're kind of brain dead on it.
Right.
You need to pull back. So I usually find that limit. So this year was great. My spoiler alert, my only complaint was Ricardo Villalobos not showing for his like closing set the last day.
Mhm.
But I think that just to get the negative out of the way, but people are always gonna talk their, put their assumptions out there and everything. I think it was just mistravel, travel plans get messed up, and he'll be back next year or whatever it is.
Right.
So,
Right.
but that was the one like thing on my list that I wanted to hit. I didn't. Otherwise, beyond that, I've now learned there's so much that goes into that festival. Like when you're going for all these days and buying expensive tickets to events and traveling with groups, and there's like these high expectation on seeing this DJ at that time or whatever. And I've done a really good job of kind of letting go of all that. And it's like we set up our plans with our friends or whatever. we're gonna do, and then I just go, and I'm mostly a solo kind of guy anyway. I'm not waiting around for nobody. Like I'm front right speaker kind of guy most of the time. So it's like, I told you where I'm gonna be. That's where I'm at, and just don't nowadays. I just don't worry so much about if I catch this name or that name.
Hmm.
I miss all sorts of great stuff because I'm just kind of in my own flow, doing what feels right at the right place, right time, and kind of just ride the wave of the weekend a bit and not put all this pressure on, you know, because you sleep in or you're with a group that doesn't want
Right.
to do what you want to do, and you put all this pressure on it, and it's just kind of go with the flow and great time all around.
Okay.
So that's the big picture of it.
Yeah, I mean, at this time I went, like, I only been there twice in my life, and the last time I went was with Mo, and like,
Oh yeah, we ran into each other.
yeah, yeah, you told me that. She said that too. I
Hmm.
actually talked to her, but
Yeah, yeah. I
um,
figured she probably would.
yeah, I went with her, and she got me a ticket, and we did the whole I won't say backstage, but what do you call it? The VIP experience, which
Right.
it was kind of cool, but I mean, I didn't really see too much like for the price. I know it was a lot of money. I'm sure it's more money than it was then, but at the time, I know it was like some money. So, but I mean, other than being able to go around the back way to get to places like the little shortcuts and that, I don't really see what the VIP thing was for. But I guess that was cool. But
Yeah.
I think that was a problem um that I kind of seen. Like there were a few people I wanted to see, but they were on at the same times and
Yeah.
in then completely different stages. And
Yeah.
my other thing I didn't care for so much is that all the sound clashed. So, I don't think it's big enough. To me, it wasn't big enough.
Sure.
Like a lot of different stages, and they're not that far from each other. And all the sound at some point clashed, so you could hear this and that. And it was just crazy. But
There's always a point kind of in the middle that's
yeah, it
kind
was
of
bad.
chaotic, you know?
It was
Yeah.
bad. So, and
You
just
back in the day, they used to let you DJ from the vending booths, and
mm,
man, if you think it's bad now, add 20 more of like the most bottom of the barrel DJs, including this guy among
right,
them. Just like you'd walk down when you walk down that aisle when you first walk in the front gate and go to like make your first choice, it was like every booth was blasting you from a different direction, and I can't. I mean, like I said, I hated it, and then I was part of it, and then finally they shut it down, and I was so grateful they don't do that anymore.
yeah,
They might have like one. Nowadays it's a specialty booth. They'll have one like maybe a little DJ that they'll allow one person to do it, but generally those. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and um, I don't know though. I have this thing that I will say, and I'll just get this out of the way because I have a spiel about the money aspect of it, and so it's a festival. It's 3 days, and there's 4 to 5. There's like 4 major stages and a Detroit stage,
hmm,
which is slightly lower production. But it's still a stage at the festival, so that they fill up with time slots. So when you look at the lineup and you look at the lineup on compare it to other festivals, so like Arc in Chicago or other festivals in Europe that have comparable lineups, and you look at the ticket prices from general admission to VIP, it's really, and then you also got to take the level of production into account. And, I can't speak of the level of production at other festivals and how it compares to this one authoritatively because I just don't go to enough other festivals to really speak on it. But what I can say is movement nowadays, Paxal does the festival every year, and they're an audio rescue team and other companies I know are like at the bottom of that. And say what you will, every year the production quality goes up. Every year
okay,
it's better than the year before, sound and lighting. And is it perfect? No, never. That space is very unique and has a lot of like unique challenges. We could talk for an hour about each of those stages and how they've changed over the years,
mhm,
but the point is that I have a lot of respect for. I know people on the production side of it as well, and I nobody's perfect, and I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with different things, and I'm not an authority on all things audio, but I don't think you can really argue with the fact that the production quality goes up every year.
Right.
And to the people who say it was better when it was free, I was there the last year it was free, and that shit was about to stop happening. And it was not quality. It was not good. It did not sound good. It did not look good. It was rough. They needed to do something, and then they started charging, and it is where it is. So,
Right. I know it was
yeah,
like a lot of behind the scenes drama with that when it was free. As I think I remember, it kept changing hands from one, and then the city was involved and
yep,
sponsors, and that was
yep,
left. And I think after
yep.
the year the Ford did the big sponsorship, I think that was probably like maybe the best year. I'm assuming because they had the outreach and they had the money to promote it. But after that, it just kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
So
So I'm pretty sure there's kind of a documentary on it that informed me on a lot of when like the
mm,
city pulled their support for it.
okay,
So that was a big thing is like, you know, it was free to enter, but it wasn't free to put
free,
on
right,
and
right,
free to produce. And the city used to actually give city funds for it. And then once they withdrew that, just allowing everyone to come in and just like I said, it wasn't going to continue
yeah.
before. It
You would
really
think that
wasn't,
was
and
like
the production was not there. I mean,
yeah,
it. Yeah, I had been to backyard parties with better production than,
wow.
than that last
And that's
year.
the
For real, it
craziest
was
thing
it
because
was problematic.
you think that they would support that with the whole worldwide view. I mean, I do know they do the Jazz Fest, but that's two completely different beasts. But I
Right.
think I don't think that's still free, and I think that's not private. It's still they support that, right? Like
So
the
I don't
city.
I don't know at all.
Okay,
I don't know about it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But as far as the monies and where that stuff comes from.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm not the expert there, but I am grateful that you know the Tech Fest, as we always called it, still continues Memorial Day weekend in
mm,
Detroit, and I really just I'm not a PAX Hell lackey or anything like that. I've just been going, and it means something special to me, and I'm glad it happens. And like I've gotten in arguments with people online who are like, "Oh, I just go to the after parties and da 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 da." And I'm past that. I'm glad anybody comes out and enjoys Detroit that weekend.
right,
It's the best weekend in the world that weekend, and it's the best weekend to come to Detroit. I love it. So, and I support the festival because I want like I buy a 3-day ticket every year. Sometimes VIP, sometimes regular, but just because if people don't do that, if there's no actual festival and that goes under, then there's no after parties.
right.
There's no, there has to be a heartbeat of this thing, and I'm sure they're not a perfect company or whatever, but I'm glad they do what they do, and like I say, the production goes up every year. I'm a proud supporter.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they do it. I mean, like I said, I should go more, and I don't. But for different reasons, and if I'm working, I just like, I don't want to go. But I'm glad that they do something because it's not too many real like techno festivals. I will let me just not say techno and house festivals in the
Yeah,
United States that are actually good. They're not like cheesy or super commercial. So that's great that they do that. So I do respect them, and I am glad that they do that. So that's pretty dope. And it also highlights Detroit. You know what I mean? Whether you believe if that's techno heaven or not, but it's great for the city. It's great for people to come out just to see the city, and I think it also helps revitalize the city too. So that's perfect.
for sure,
So,
for
any
sure,
highlights?
and
Any highlights from like
yeah,
what stands out?
always.
We'll go. We'll do the actual festival first, and then I'm gonna come around and see because I think you went to some after parties. So
Yeah, I always
I'll
go to
ask
one or
about
two.
the after party second, but let's stay on the festival right now. So, what was the best highlight? Well, not the best, but a few of your highlights of the festival this year.
Well, yeah. So I didn't get. I probably put more emphasis on the after parties this year, hour for hour. But regardless, there's two highlights from the festival. The first day was Helena Hoff in the underground all vinyl set.
Mhm.
definitely stood out. And it was funny because we were with that was a day I spent with a friend group where there was a guy who was like new to the whole thing, and it was his first time coming out, and he just that was like on the top of his list from the research he had done was he wanted to see Helena Hoff set in the underground. So he like ditched our group and was front and center for this thing. So that stood out, and I always appreciate a vinyl set. And then the last day, barring that Villa Lobos set, the peak was sort of, and this wasn't necessarily expected, but again, another guy in the friend group was like live or die for the Jamie XX set on the main stage, and so that really became a peak just because of it's something you learn with this. Like I'm a slave to the music, man, and I want to be there for that, but then you're just always reminded that it's about the people and the people you're with, and if you can all share that music, that moment together, that transcends the music, but somehow you can't get there, or at least not as easily, especially with just groups of people you might never cross otherwise in life. So just it had kind of one of those full circle moments with my new people, my old people for the Jamie XX set, and his style is also kind of right in the sweet spot for me right now with this
Mhm.
kind of UK weird footwork stuff, two-steppy sound that I've been flirting with for a few years now. Kind of the past 2-3 years, this stuff has just kind of been exciting me. So
Okay.
uh, he added this track, "Baddie on the Floor" with Honey Dijon.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
that was peak of song of the year as far as I'm concerned. I hadn't heard it before, and it was just like perfect drop. Yeah. So
Cool.
that was definitely my festival highlight. Sunday was more of like I don't really remember Sunday so much. Anybody particularly sticking out? It might have been Chris Liebing in the underground. I think that Mike and I were there for that Chris Liebing set,
Okay.
and it was just one of those things like the last guy ended. Who's starting now? I can't recognize this dude. Yeah, that's who it is, and it was not like on my list of things I must see, but he was locked in and killed it.
That's good. And the after parties.
Yeah, so I always do an IT party or two. I don't know what you're laughing about, man.
Anytime you hear that long pause, that stuff about to come. So
That don't incriminate myself
yeah.
on this podcast, boss. Uh, man, yeah, this guy just knows at the after parties. That's where I get my wings.
Hmm.
And so this year, let me just name off what we because you get some really world class acts in town. We went to the Russell Building 6 featuring Nina Kravitz and Green Velvet on
Yeah.
Saturday night.
How was that? I've never seen Nina play. I've always been kind of
So
curious and interested.
I've seen her play the all vinyl set in the underground at the festival a few years back, a number of years back now, and she totally won me over. That she won us all over that
Mm.
year. That was kind of right in the beginning. As far as I'm concerned, that was a key part of her ascent because she wasn't at all blown up yet. But there was nobody asking questions at that show. They were freaking out, myself included. So I did not get to see her so much on this night. We were mostly in there for Green Velvet with the group I was with,
Did
and
he
the
DJ
vibe
or
that we were
like
on.
did he DJ or he perform live?
They're both just DJing.
Okay.
And the thing that stood out from that night is that's the official after party for the festival put on by the same company, and I had never been into this Building 6 in the Russell before. I've been in the Russell a number of times, but never this like thing they've been doing there the past couple years. And we all knew something was about to go down because they were posting the pictures of the sound system they were loading in there.
Hmm.
good God, man, the production on this was, I mean, it almost opened my eyes to their vision with it, that this is like the off-site, like if they had an underground stage that was 4 or 5, 6 times as big, that,
That would.
could also go all night and have headlining acts kind of thing. Because with the laser light show they implemented in here, it would be impossible to do it outdoor and wasteful to do it in a circumstance where most of their production time is daylight. But now they have this whole nighttime thing where they can paint a totally different picture, and it was on another level. I mean, I don't even want to guess, how much this rig cost, but the lasers were insane.
Mhm.
And especially in the main room, but in both rooms, they just so there were other events there. Richie played there the next night. Would have liked to have been there for that, and some of the other shows. But we had a great time at the one we were at. Official after parties always kind of like, I mean, the place is massive. I mean, I feel like at least 5,000 people in this room,
Oh wow.
and just kind of like the big arena style setup. So it's a lot. It was there was nothing intimate about this venue. Put it
Okay.
that way. It was, but the production was just 12 out of 10. Um, they had these inflatable fish, looked like they were swimming around from the ceiling. It was not what I've been to the Russell before, never for anything like
Okay.
this. Like, and I'm used to little artist grungy parties there. This was like, yeah, it looked like the most expensive stage at the festival.
Oh
But
wow.
I don't know what they put into this stuff. But that was, I mean, they spared no expense. So that, on that level, it was off the hook. Next night was the interdimensional transmissions, No Way Back, now a world famous party. Pretty much the same lineup every year, and another one of those where the people who I want to play are always playing at some outrageous time in the morning or before I end up getting there from the festival. So I don't really set my heart on. I just see whatever I'm fed while I'm there,
Mhm.
and it's always just a top tier party. If you were to go to one after party,
Yeah.
that's where I'd send you. Or they have a weekend. They basically do their own festival at Tangent.
Right.
IT puts on 4 days, 5, 6 events at this point with the way they stagger them. They've got, you could just buy a weekend wristband with them and do nothing else and be
All right.
completely,
Now this is the party
you
that's
know,
in conjunction with Tresor, correct?
that's one of their
One of
nights.
the
They
nights.
do a Tresor night, they do a bunker night. They I'm trying to remember the other labels and stuff they work with now, but it's called Return to the Source.
Mhm.
So you can look that up on RA and stuff. And so the highlights at No Way Back. It's BMG's party. He absolutely killed it this year. He's the label head, and then Patrick Russell is just always a standout favorite. Carlos Front. Didn't get to see Derek this year. What's his name?
Oh, Plaseco.
Les Lako. Yeah, but he's won me over past years. Like, he was not somebody I knew in the
Yeah, Derek's
beginning
actually good.
when it.
He's good.
Yeah, yeah. So he's broke my brain open a couple times there, and caught just a minute of Erica's set, but that's when I was getting into like the ear bleeding realm, and I just needed to go home. But yeah, so that those parties are always good. They also have the ambient room, outer space room, which, like, one of my buddies who's known for just being techno hardcore spent his whole night in the ambient
All right.
room, which I think is cool as hell, and just also a really weird set of circumstances because I'm used to seeing him.
Did Erica
You
play
know,
live or did she DJ?
I think in the main room this year it was all DJ
Oh, DJ.
sets. I don't think there was any live. Yeah, but I mean, I think Cybertron played live the past 2 years
Oh
at
wow.
their on a different night. Yeah, their party on their Tresor party on Saturday this year. That's kind of where I wanted to be instead of the Russell, because it was like Object, Surgeon, I think Cybertron, or if not them, I mean, that lineup was just killer. So yeah, but no looking back. No way back and no looking
No,
back either.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, but so then that was that. Monday, I do not buy after party tickets because usually I'm totally spent, and I did not really end up going out Monday night. So that was pretty much my after party scenario. Oh well, so then Tuesday, like the after party, is now there's become a tradition. It's called the Last Man Dancing at Speaker Box, which
Hmm.
is where my residency is. So that's kind of home base, and I usually will go there on like Tuesday or Thursday the week before as everything's ramping up. But now, following Tuesday, Drew Ruiz party, and now for 2 years running has featured our friends Truncate, Shout Out, and Hyperactive, LA and Chicago, respectively. So caught back to back set from them in the Orange Room, which, as you know, is just my favorite, little intimate spot in the city. And so to see those two doing, the type of music you would hope and expect they would play. I was pretty wore out at that point. I had some sleep, but it was just so fourth, fifth, sixth day of beats. It gets a little wearing, but that was my like closeout for the whole thing, was watching those guys go back to back. So
Yeah.
shout out Drew and all the and that lineup had just a ton of homies on it too. I missed most of them because I was sleeping,
Right.
unfortunately. Which again, that's how that happens. But I got there towards the end of the night and caught a little bit of it, and so yeah, shout out to Speaker Box and everybody involved with those parties. That's the fam over there.
Yeah, that's
So
cool. I like that place, man. Like I've been there just when you do your nights. That's pretty cool. And just it
they,
isn't
they do a ton of programming
I've
there,
seen
man.
a
They have
lot
so
of
many shows.
as
They
of
have
late
so
a
many
lot
shows.
of shows, yeah. But that's good though. I mean, more people come check it out. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they get a lot of exposure just because they open early in the morning. They have two levels, two completely separate setups, and yeah. So shout out to Speaker Box. They give a lot of DJs in the city a voice, right in
Yeah.
downtown, and their voice for techno in like downtown Detroit. Which when you're not at Hart Plaza Festival weekend, there's not a lot of options for techno in the downtown area.
Right.
So we're right on 200 Grand River, and you just it's an access point. So a lot of people, we get a lot of traffic that is not like necessarily you get your techno heads in there and people coming out for the night and who know, but then almost every week we have new people coming
Yeah,
down in the
a lot of
speakeasy
foot traffic.
style.
A lot of foot traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is
yep,
good because then you get to, other people get to say, "Hey, I didn't know I seen this place, I've never been here. What's going on here?" Or I didn't know
exactly.
type of music existed, or I didn't know. Yeah, that's a cool thing because I think every time I've been there, there's really more foot traffic people that I see there than people who are actually, like heads. And so, but that's cool because
Yep,
they come
exactly.
down, they have fun, and they have a good time. So that's what's up. And then at the same time, you're exposing them to something new. So yeah,
Yep, yep. They're great for that, and yeah, we're in our third year there now. So love the home base.
yeah, that's what's up.
Got got one coming up with some homeboys, Jeff Garcia and Dylan Preach, and that's the other thing. It's a small joint, so I'm really forced, from a booking perspective, to keep it pretty local. I wish I could afford hotels for people and flights and that kind of thing. We're talking about some, stay tuned, everybody, on that. We're working on some plans to afford your flights. But the crush thing is kind of like, if you happen to be in town, if you're in Detroit on the third Friday, I'm glad we've got a rhythm there where I'm now every third Friday downstairs in the Orange Room. Ask for Joshua Tree in the basement, and yeah, it's always $10, and they got these really good coffee drinks they do upstairs, like coffee cocktails and that's their specialty, coffee and techno, and the music's always good.
Yeah,
That's what we promise, is the
very
music's
true.
always solid.
Very true. Well, it sounds like you had a good time at the fest this year, and with all the main events, and then the after parties and pre parties and all that. So that's what's up.
Well, and it's always just super inspiring, as an artist. I know, I get into this as a consumer of the music and a dancer of it to it, primarily. So this festival gets me back to that. I played a couple gigs as well, but it's mainly just kind of about it gives me this creative energy boost that at this point, everybody knows not to talk to me about doing anything else. I'm at war with a friend group who likes to camp on Memorial Weekend right now, and I think I'm winning.
Right.
So, based on the premise, you can go camping any weekend, but Memorial Weekend is the only weekend you can really, dance to the heartbeat of techno and the city that created it. So it really is something special, and I get this boost off of it that really sets us off into the rest of summer and gives me an idea of like what's popping, what people are liking, what they're listening to, what I always get a few songs that I have to Shazam or track down or something where it's like this is it right now because I've seen
Right.
it. So yep. And always wanting to get more people out to it. Hopefully, I'm thinking next year I might work a little harder and book some more gigs and be a little more part of the after party scene and that. Working that festival, I've done it, and it's a grind. It's
Right.
its own grind. So I don't necessarily recommend trying to throw a party that weekend. It's kind of
It's too much, too many other things happening, and just too many damn people. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
nuts,
But
man.
it is kind of techno Christmas, so it is a big windfall of profits for a lot of the record stores
Right.
and places like Speaker Box. It's a great time of year for them. So we encourage everybody to come in and see that Detroit ain't so scary, and
Right.
come visit our
What's that? It
beautiful
was some
city.
movie I remember a long, old ass movie. They were like, "Yeah, what can you do?" He's like, "Send them to Detroit." I forgot what it was,
Oh,
but
if that meme is going around right now, I don't know,
yeah,
it's some kung fu movie or something.
yeah, it was exactly is what it was. It was a kung fu movie,
I've been seeing that. Yeah, I don't know what I
and
need
it's
to get
like
the
Detroit
source on that.
bad. And I
I
don't even
don't
think
think that's what he originally says. I
no,
think that's the meme. But
yeah,
my favorite is just like the RoboCop, film
oh yeah,
series, the original, the way Detroit is portrayed there. That's my favorite fictional Detroit icon is RoboCop for sure.
there's a couple of Detroit movies though. It's like I think it's like
Oh yeah, there's
Detroit
more than a couple.
2000 or something like that. It's something wacky though, but it was crazy. Detroit's not a bad city, y'all. It's actually good. And
It
they're doing
is
a lot of
actually
stuff to revitalize the city.
good.
So check it out. Especially to you guys
Yep.
who are listening and watching overseas and you hear, oh, Detroit's bad. No, it's not. It's actually good. It's a good place. Good food. Lots of food and food trucks everywhere. So that
Well, and I'm doing this interview from my Grand Rapids home, but this is one of the last times I'll be doing that. I'm in the process of moving over there right now. I have a room rented at what is lovingly known as the church
mm,
that we're working on bringing some more future programming to you from. So I've got a new residency in a couple ways coming up. So. Yep, but everything you see here and that's immediately surrounding this machine right now, my turntables and everything, the old door, it's all moving to the church, and I'm a bit intimidated. I'm not
that's
real excited about the moving process, but that's what this next couple months is going to be about for me, is getting
yeah.
all this stuff out of here.
Well,
So,
moving sucks, but it's for the best though. I think it'd be a good move.
yeah, yep, it is. So,
You'd be closer to me. Hell,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I'll be closer to yeah, I'm gonna be further from some people I love, but I'm gonna be closer to a lot of people I love, and it's not all about those, adding up the numbers there, but they're definitely leaning towards the east side of the
yeah,
state for me. I
right.
mean, I moved from there originally. I have a lot of family over there, but I still have my mom, my son here, and a lot of people I'm really close with in Grand Rapids. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna be back and forth for a while, but everyone's known, creatively where I've been focusing.
right, right. Yeah,
So,
you have been talking about this for a while, so
yep,
yeah,
yep. So,
yeah. All right, people. I think that's it. So we just wanted to do this little quick little impromptu show.
Yeah, it's nice to do the recap, man. Thanks for asking.
Think about that. Didn't go. Let's get a recap. We try to get Mike, aka I can't say that name.
Nuntius Noctis.
Not the dark man. I think that's what it is. It's translated. I don't know, but he fell asleep, but he has to work in the morning. So I just got out of work, and
the three of us are on.
We're on completely different schedules. So
yeah,
we figured that we'd try to make something work. But yeah, so.
Well, we got to get you out of movement next year, man. Even if it's just an after party or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm actually, I told you earlier, I'm gonna definitely try to go to that Techno thing. I've never been there. I'm gonna try.
Yep. So that's coming up in August, and I'm working with them this year. I'm super excited. So everybody, is looking for something to do in August, right in the middle of the month, the 15th, 16th, that weekend. They might be doing 3 days, but it's Detroit's only free techno festival. So everybody likes to talk about, movement was better when it was free. Well, come on down to Detroit. We got that too.
Yeah.
So
I heard it's pretty good though. So that's why I'm gonna definitely try to go to that.
A lot of talent.
Plural and FBK, they were actually telling me I needed to go. So I'm trying to link up with them when I go on YouTube. See what happens.
Yep, those guys are out there. That might have been the first time I met Kevin. FBK was. I think that was the first time we spoke. I ran into him at Movement this year too, and But I was telling you earlier on, off the record that it's just a great place to come because the talent, especially the Detroit techno talent, is just never so dense as at Detroit, man. Just everybody's there. If you want to pick somebody's brain or get to know somebody who made one of your favorite records from the 90s, man, there's just hardly a better place to do it. So I helped him out a little bit last year volunteering, and this year I am actually the on-site volunteer coordinator. So if you'd like to help us park cars.
Congratulations.
Hey, yeah. So we're picking up trash. We're parking cars. we're doing whatever needs to be done to help keep this thing free. And it's a nonprofit organization, and nobody gets paid from this thing. So and so sign up to volunteer and sign up so I can tell you what to do.
Yeah, we'll get that information somewhere later in this broadcast.
Yeah, it's Detroit, August 15th. Look it up, y'all.
All right, everybody.
Detroit.
So let's thank our guest, Joshua Tree, for gracing us with his presence at this last minute.
Thank you, Myles. Appreciate you. Yeah, always appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. All right, everybody.
Put me on the spot like this guy.
No spot. So if you what I'm trying to say. Oh, because I never do this again. I always
like and subscribe to the podcast, y'all. Help my man get some followers, get the word out. There we go.
Well, there's the booking thing. There's the booking, but that was what I wasn't trying to get to though. But we can do both at the same time.
There we go.
Everybody, if you support us, the show, please, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, y'all. It helps us go other places where we need to go. Like we're trying to get monetized to keep this thing going. And we're about maybe 30 people off from getting to 500. But the downside to that, I also need to get a lot of watch hours. So click a video, hit play, walk away, let it play. I don't know.
Watch that video, man. Share it. Leave it on in the background and shit. All that.
Exactly. And also, hit the like button too. It pushes us in the algorithms. So people.
Yeah, we need that money, y'all.
It ain't about money. Not about money. It's about keeping this thing. But we're like the festival. We're trying to keep this thing free.
Yeah.
But no,
exactly.
it just helps us
Doesn't
do.
cost y'all nothing to hit like.
No, just hit the button. Especially if you're a supporter of me and Donnell and Tree for that matter.
Hell yeah.
You know, it helps
Yeah,
help the
no.
show. It helps us get further along. So we're that close. We just need people to, hit that button. Hit the button.
Yeah, we're just working stiffs out here who like music. Come get
That's
in on the
true.
inside edition. Come in.
That's
Come on.
very true.
We'll
That's,
show you the way.
that's very true.
Yeah, and that brings us to our next topic. Next time you get me on, we're talking about that gatekeeping. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's for another show, y'all.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show. Mm-hmm. We gotta talk about it.
We could do that. That'd be our exclusive interview topic
that's
for you.
It's the one with all the dirt.
Yeah. All dirt ain't good dirt, so we gotta keep that one. That one I have to put that behind a paywall. We might have to pay to check that one.
Put me behind a few drinks, you'll get some good content. I'll tell you that.
The thoughts and views that you hear on this show. That's not.
I'll tell you why I didn't go to that other after party.
Oh hell! I think we want to hear this. So we definitely cover.
They do want to hear it. I know they do.
Saturday night, y'all. Come back Saturday night. We're
gonna back on the spot.
Oh shoot! All right, y'all. This has been MS Live with me, Myles Sergé, and Donnell too, but he's here in spirit. Shouts out to my guests and thank you to Mr. Joshua Tree again. Clap it up. Clap it up, y'all. So yeah, until then, I'm just laughing, so I can't even end the show. Until then, y'all, thank you for tuning in. Stay up, stay out of trouble.
And show up.
And show up. There you go. And show up. All right. Until next time, this is Myles Sergé out. Peace.